Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we're going to be creating the simple bounce animation you can see on the screen right now. This is a bounce animation, as you can see, and I have applied some of the principles of animation we covered in our previous lectures. Now in our previous lecture we learned about creating bounce effects with the graph editor, that's the value graph editor, and in previous lectures we also learned about the principles of animations and so on and so forth. So we're just going to bring everything in action in this particular video. So we're going to create something like this. So in order to start, we're going to create a new composition, 1920 by 1080 as usual. We will just leave it as composition 2 and leave it like this. So this is it. So we have this composition of 4 seconds. So the first thing we're going to do is create a shape layer. So we're just going to take the pen tool and draw out our shape. So we just want to create the ground where the ball will be bouncing off. So for fill color, we're going to make it empty, and then we're going to make the stroke this color, and then reduce the size a lot. I'm going to add a few dashes. I think something like this should do. So this is our ground where the ball will be bouncing from. So next we create another shape layer and use our ellipse tool to create a circle or an ellipse, and we're just going to try to copy the color of our circle here, so we can see that this is the color of our circle here, and we're just going to try to mimic the color. We don't need a stroke for this. I think let's just copy this shape and bring it here so as to sample the color and also get the size right. So I'm just going to sample the color like this and increase the size a bit. Okay, so I'll just delete this layer we have here. I'm going to bring the anchor points of our shape to the middle, and then while selecting this shape, this is our existing shape layer, I'm going to create the eyes. So these are the eyes, or this is the eye. Let me make it a little darker. So I'm going to Control D to duplicate and have another eye. So the next I'm going to do is create the antenna, the kind of antenna structure we have here. That's this this particular one. So I'm going to have a new shape layer, and then I'm going to draw out the antenna like this. Holding down shift, I'm going to have another point here. So for fill color we have nothing, and for the stroke we have this color. So this should do, and let's bring the anchor point of our antenna to this point, because our rotation will be happening from this point. Okay, so our anchor point has to be here, and we'll have to do a little adjustments to our shape here. Basically, this is what we have. Now what I want to do is I want to parent our antenna here to our ball. Okay, I want to parent our antenna to our main shape so that the antenna follows our shape as it moves. So I'm going to select the antenna, then use the parent link tool and come and drop it here. So you see that our antenna has been parented to the shape 2 layer. Now when we hit P, you see that our antenna follows our shape wherever it goes. I would like to start off from this point. So first of all, we should take our shape above, outside the frame, and then create a keyframe on our position, and after some frames you just bring it down here. Let's take a peep. Yeah, so that's it. Comes from above and hits the ground. So let's ease our keyframes. So we have this right now. So I want you to select the keyframes and then go to the graph editor, and of course the speed graph. If you're not on the speed graph, you can just right click and come to edit value graph. If you're not on the value graph, you can right click and edit value graph. It's going to bring you to what you're seeing on the screen right now. So we're going to come on position, right click and separate dimensions. So this is what we have now, and for this we're going to go to the y-axis and then use our pen tool to create extra keyframes in order to create our bounce effects. This is what we have. So let's have some more keyframes. So you can see that our bouncing stops at about 10 frames. Sorry, at about 2 seconds and 15 frames. 2 seconds, 15 frames. So that's 2 seconds, 15 frames. About here. About here. So you're just going to come and bring our keyframes a bit closer or a bit away from 2 seconds. So this is what we have so far. I'm going to reduce the bounce here a bit, and here also. So this is what we have so far, and I think I like this. So I want us to add our stretch and squash effect. Coming to our layer, I hit on S to bring up the scale. So we can see that the scale value is 100 by 100. Now, the first thing I will do is to unlink the values by unchecking this box. So our shape scale values are no longer linked together. Now when adding our squash and stretch effect, our scales at every point must add up to the addition of these scales. So when our object is squashing and when our object is stretching, when we add the scales, that's when we add the value here and the value here at every point in time, they should add up to 200. Okay, they should add up to 200. So at this point I want to create a keyframe here, and then so at this point I want to have let's say 80 here and 120 here. So this is what we have. And then when it hits the ground, I then want to have 120 here and 80 here. That's basically it. So our scales at every point must add up to 200 in order to maintain the same volume. Okay, so let's just copy this keyframe and paste. I'm using Ctrl C and Ctrl V for copy and paste. It's going to stretch again. And squash here. So copy and paste too, or copy and paste again. So let's copy and paste. Copy and paste. So let's copy the first keyframe and paste to give it its final size, that's its original size. So far this is what we've been able to achieve, but I'm going to do a little more tweaking to make it even better. So let's compare with what we have here. So first of all, let's select all our keyframes and just ease them. Let's add a little more bounce to this animation. I don't like the way it just ends very suddenly, so I think I just add a little more bounce here. Yeah, so this would be it. So we want to make sure our object is hitting the ground very properly, so you can just drag it to make sure it's hitting the ground at the required points. That's holding down shift, of course. So one other thing we need to do is reduce the rate of squash and stretch as our bouncing reduces. Okay, so for this point we have 80 and 120, 120 and 80, 80 and 120, 120 and 80. That's okay. For here we have 80 and 120. So what I want to do is kind of make here 90 and 110. Okay, and then here 110 and 90. Here also, let's just make it 90 and 110 also. And same here. So this is what we have so far, and I think we might need to do a little more adjustments to the keyframes we just modified. So let's bring this up a little bit. Also bring it up a little bit. And that's it so far. So we can see that we've added the squash and stretch effect. So I just want you to observe how the antenna is moving during the jump. So that's what I want us to add right now. It's moving from right to left, from left to right. Right now we will have to do these modifications under rotation. So hit R to bring out rotation, and then create a keyframe. So let's just peep to see how these keyframes have been. Okay, so we have it at about 16 frames. So about 16 frames, we have our first keyframe. So just take the rotation tool and have a little rotation here, like this. Then after another 15 frames or 16 frames, we have another one. So let's select all our keyframes and easy ease. We might need to do some more adjustments to these keyframes. That's to the antenna, of course. So let's kind of increase our rotation. Actually, the rotations don't have to be too much. We just need a subtle movement. Yeah, this is what we have so far, and now I kind of feel our keyframes, let's see, maybe our rotation, maybe our bouncing is a little too much. First, you know what, let's just leave it. I'm just showing you the process. You can just you can make it as perfect as you want it to be on your own side, but I'm just going to leave it this way. So right now I want you to keyframe the x-axis. Create a keyframe on the x-axis, and then let's go back a little bit to create the anticipation, and also copy and paste the same keyframe to create a delay, and from here on we just move to the right. Okay, yeah, so let's see what we have now. Good, I like what we have. We just need to work on our keyframes a little bit. So this won't work. So let me just take a look at the keyframes here. Okay, I made it. So it's a simple S curve. So it's a simple S curve. Yeah, this will do it. Good, so we now have our bounce effect with the squash and stretch applied, the anticipation applied, and also the follow through. So finally, I just want us to work on the antenna once more. So we want a simple follow through rotation here. So we want it to rotate this way. Good. Let me delete this keyframe to see. Yeah. Good. So when it comes here, we want our antenna to come back and finally settle at the middle. So I don't think we need this keyframe. Alright, sorry. So we've come to the end of our video, and as you can see, we've been able to replicate the bouncing effect. So please make sure you do this, make sure you complete this project, and I'll love to see what you come up with. Okay, that will be it for this video, and hope to see you in the next. Bye. Hey, so that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. We post new videos every week covering topics in the fields of graphic design and illustration, motion graphics and video, branding, and more. If you want to support us and get access to exclusive benefits such as the project files we use in our classes, a live chat with us, shoutouts, and more, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. You can join for as little as $3 a month, and the link to our Patreon page is in the description below. And if you want to take your learning to the next level, you can check out the complete course, of which this episode is a part of. And in the complete course, you get access to more than 10 hours of video lessons, project files and resources, class exercises, a Q&A section, a certificate of completion, and more. You can get the course for a special discount by using the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.